Hey guys, it's time to do a review and a camera test comparison between the Huawei P9 Lite on the left versus the Oppo F1S, the new phone here from Oppo. So both phones cost around the same. So this one is around $250 to $60, and this one is around $290 and $300. They are mid-range phones, have mid-range specs. Let's see how both of them stacks up against each other. First off, if we start off from the build quality, so you can see here that the Oppo F1S, it's a full metallic phone, metal on the sides, metal on the back. You get, full flagship quality stuff here, I should say. Feels really good in hand. This one is kind of a semi-premium phone. Metal rails on the side, but plastic on the back. So, like I said, semi-premium phone. Black color looks really dope in my opinion. But again, if you talk about the premiumness, this one feels a little bit more good, just because it's full metallic, and also it looks a little bit like iPhone, which is a thing to mention. And yeah, let's talk about here. If we compare them like this, you can see that the Oppo F1S is definitely bigger size-wise, 5.5-inch screen size versus 5.2-inch. So you can see here, bigger phone here with from Oppo. So on the side, you can notice that we got the power and the volume rocker on the same side, right side on the P9 Lite, while on the Oppo F1S, you get power button on the right versus the volume rocker on the left. And on the top, you got 3.5mm headphone jack along with the microphone on the P9 Lite, and the F1S features the headphone jack and the charging port and the speaker down below. While here you get the speaker as well as the charging port. So both have USB 2.0, so no USB Type-C or anything like that. Diving into the display, of course, both phones have fingerprint sensors, so they are pretty fast. They show no animation, almost equal. Which is nice. You get some cool tricks with the Oppo F1S, like you can encrypt an application with your finger. So my right thumb unlocks my phone while my left thumb launches the calculator after unlocking. So yeah, in this way you can pretty much encrypt any application to your finger. Like you can have this finger for WhatsApp, this finger for Viber, and this finger for Facebook. So I think up to 5 or 6 you can do that. So yeah, you got the app encryption thing here. Fingerprint sensor is definitely on the next level on this one with all those features compared to this one. But it's on the back, so different positions also. If we take a look here at the display, again, this is 1080p HD. So high resolution display here on the P9 Lite, but it's smaller in size compared to the Oppo F1S, which has a 5.5-inch display but 720p in resolution. Both phones are pretty bright and they have a nice outdoor visibility also, so you're not going to be having any problem. Also, you can see pretty smooth. Both phones have a fairly strong processor to handle games of today's era. So here we have a MediaTek chipset with 3 GB of RAM, and here we get Kirin 650 with 2 GB of RAM / 3 GB of RAM. So 3 GB RAM model is definitely not available, at least where I live, but it's if you are having that model, if that model is available, then definitely get it, because you're going to get really good RAM management out of that. So here, of course, on this one, you get almost the same RAM performance as the P9 Lite. You can check my speed test video. But overall, both phones are pretty fast. For average users, of course, you're not going to be noticing any lag or anything slow on both phones. And they have, of course, this is the EMUI. This is the Color OS. This looks kind of like iOS look-wise, while the P9 Lite, of course, has this own UI, home screens, and both phones features no app drawer. You get latest version of Android 6.0.1 Marshmallow on the P9 Lite, which is again a plus point, versus here you only get 5.1 Lollipop. Still no update at the moment, which is a shame because the Android 7.0 is right around the corner. So definitely expect Oppo to update this one. Also, if we talk about the cameras on both phones, the Oppo F1S comes with a 16 megapixel front camera, versus the 8 on the P9 Lite. If you talk about the back cameras, you get 13 megapixel on both phones. So overall picture quality is great on both phones. You get really nice outdoor pictures. Result definitely a little bit difference in terms of colors. The P9 Lite produces a little bit darker colors, you can say. Also, both of them do a fairly good job in low light conditions, so let me know in the comment section down below which phone you think is better picture wise. The thing that I like about the P9 Lite is that its camera UI is really changed, okay? While the Oppo F1S, I mentioned that in the full review that it has, the UI is really like iOS, so, and also you don't get a lot of features. Well, here you got tons of options to tweak from, and it's exactly the same UI as we get with the bigger P9 and the P9 Plus. So I really love Huawei for that. I mean, this time they haven't taken a lot of things from the P9 Lite, like compared to the P8 Lite they have done from the last year. So yeah, you get pretty much all the good stuff from the higher flagship models camera wise. So let's take a look at the video recording of both phones. So lastly, if you talk about the battery on both phones, so both have 3000 mAh battery cell. This one has a little bit bigger than 3000, but the battery performance is around the same. For average user, they should be able to give you 1 day usage plus easily without any problem. Again, for the price, the battery is definitely great on both phones. Yeah, the P9 Lite of course has Marshmallow, so you get really great standby time. Well, here it's also good, but it's still on Lollipop, so you can expect better battery life, or at least improved battery life on the Oppo F1S once it gets the Marshmallow update. But still, I don't really know when the update will come to this phone. So yeah, that is our full comparison. Again, in just a nutshell, just to wrap up this video, if you want like best build quality, like the full metallic build quality, and you also want a bigger display, then the Oppo F1S is definitely the phone to go with. But if you want like better camera features, and also kind of a not iPhone-like design, and even though it's plastic on the back, but still it's something you can say original, and yeah, then you can consider buying the Huawei P9 Lite, and also it's cheaper. So yeah, other things to mention is that both phones have dual SIM card slot, and also both phones have micro SD card tray for storage expansion. One thing I almost forgot here, which is a big plus point with the Oppo F1S, is that you get 32 gigs of internal memory, while here you get only 16, out of which you get almost 9 point something for users. So you can't install a lot of applications or games, but compared to what you can do here on the F1S. But if you are okay with that, if you're not going to install that much application, then you can consider buying the P9 Lite. So yeah, again, let me know if you have any questions in the comment section down below, and yeah, see you guys in the next one. Peace out.